Hello and welcome to the Flowers Invention Studio. My name is Claire, and in this video I'm going to talk about the safety section of the PI checklist. The first thing that it's important to know about when entering the Invention Studio is what PPE you need in each room. It's always a good idea to be wearing closed-toed shoes and to have your hair pulled back, and this is especially a requirement if you enter the wood room, the metal room, or the electronics section. You also want to make sure you're not wearing any jewelry, watches, headphones, or have loose clothing or hoodie strings that could get caught in equipment. If you enter the wood room, the metal room, or the electronics section, we ask that you wear safety glasses to protect your eyes. And we also have hearing protection available because a lot of the machines, as well as the ventilation system, are very noisy. If you're removing 3D prints from the print bed, you want to make sure you're wearing a utility glove, and also make sure that this is on the hand that's not scraping the print off of the bed. And then finally, if you're using the resin printers, you want to wear nitrile gloves as the resin is very toxic to the skin. In each room in the Invention Studio, it's important to know where to find the emergency exits, the fire extinguisher, the first aid kit, and then any emergency eye wash stations or showers. All of the emergency exits are labeled with large red signs. One of them is if you go straight back out the main entrance, you exit the studio, and then if you go left or right, you can exit the MRDC. The other is in the back near the laser cutters. The fire extinguisher for the hub is located in the back corner next to the laser cutters. The first aid kit is located next to the Surmark station. You need to make sure that you record what you take on the list posted next to it. That way we know how to properly replenish it. And the eye wash station is located right next to the electronics section. In the metal room, the first aid kit is located along the back wall, and the fire extinguisher is located to the right as you walk in the door, near the emergency exit. There's also an emergency shower and an eye wash station located between the two water jets. In the wood room, the only exit is the same door that you walk in, and as you enter, the fire extinguisher is to your left and the first aid kit is to the right. All of the tools in the Invention Studio are separated into 4 tool categories. For more information on these categories, as well as a list of the equipment involved in each category, go to the ME website, which is linked in the safety section of the PI checklist. The most dangerous type of tool are the Class 4 tools. These are labeled in the studio with red stickers. To use these tools, you must have another authorized user in the same room with you at all times while the tool is being used. Our Type 3 tools, such as the miter saw, which is labeled with the yellow 3, require another user to be within earshot of you while being used. Also, a good reminder is to always have a door propped open so that if somebody did need to come in and help you, they could access you quickly. Type 2 tools are things like the laser cutter that require some training but are not nearly as dangerous. And then Type 1 tool are more simple tools such as drills and other hand tools. If you encounter a fire in the laser cutter, instead of using a traditional fire extinguisher, we use a fire blanket. This is located right above the fire extinguisher. The first thing you do is cut power to the machine and then use the fire blanket to smother the flames. It's important to note, however, that as soon as you open the lid, you're letting oxygen into the flame, so try to have the blanket ready before you open it. Another area of the studio where we don't use a normal fire extinguisher is the electronics section. If you use a fire extinguisher on a live electrical fire, it can actually help conduct electricity instead of putting out the flames. So instead, we use these 5-gallon buckets of sand to help put them out. Resin used in our resin printers is very toxic both to our skin and to the environment, so it's important to use the proper precautions when handling it. We always wear nitrile gloves so that our skin doesn't come in contact with the resin. And then we also don't throw any uncured resin away in normal trash cans. If you have an empty resin tray or if it spills, get a studio assistant's help to dispose of it properly. If the fire alarm goes off when you're in the studio, the first thing you do is turn off any equipment that you're using, with the exception of the 3D printers. Then use any of the emergency exits that we've talked about to exit the building, and then congregate in the MRDC parking lot. If the fire alarm has not gone off, but you see smoke or a flame, you can use the fire extinguisher, but you must evacuate as soon as the fire alarm goes off. In the case of a tornado warning, again, turn off all equipment except for the 3D printers, and then go down to the MRDC basement. To get to the MRDC basement, exit the front entrance of the studio, go towards the studio store, and then turn around and go down those stairs. Thanks for listening, and if you'd like more training, come in to complete your PI checklist.